Arrow of God by Chinua Achebe. Chapter 3. Captain Winterbottom had served Africa for 15 years. And even after 15 years, he hated the Nigerian weather. The mornings were extremely hot and the nights were chilly cold. Many Europeans had died due to exposure and malaria. Once he went to bed, he could hear the throb of drums in the forest at nights. That was enough to give him the nightmares. The Igbo were having some ritual or the other every night. Sights of sacrifices on the road were quite common. It began hailing once in a while. The African children played naked in the hail, but it was deadly to Europeans. Winterbottom had served Nigeria with faith, and he hoped to implement the indirect rule of the British government. He had Igbo servants who had converted to Christianity and managed to speak a little bit of English. That particular evening, he planned to invite Mr. Tony Clark to supper. Clark had been the newly appointed Assistant District Officer to Nigeria. He had already presented Clark a book titled The Pacification of the Primitive Tribes of Lower Niger, written by George Allen. George Allen had emphasized in his book that the British were supposed to be the lawmaker and the rulers of the whole world, and that he intended the tribes of Nigeria to follow the code of the British but remain slaves forever. When Tony Clark arrived for supper, Winterbottom warned him about Africa. The weather was extreme. The rituals were horrible. The natives were raw. Clark was new there, and he was not supposed to interrupt the rituals of the Africans. He was not supposed to go into the forest if he heard the sound of drums at night. He had to give respect to Ezelu, who was called the Red-Skin Priest. Winterbottom explained that the Ikenga was the most important artifact to an African. It represented his ancestors to whom he must make sacrifice. Clark was never to disturb the Ikenga, and Clark was not supposed to look eye to eye at Ezelu. That's it for Chapter 3.